Welcome to Centennial Sports TV.
The TDSB football season comes to an end.
Leaside's Chubave takes center stage.
And a two-sports star takes to coaching.
Centennial Sports TV starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Centennial Sports TV. I'm Aaron Korolnik and I'm joined by Josh Lewinberg without his patented goatee.
Yes, Aaron, clean shaven today, and we have more surprises in today's show. My third favorite mayor behind Mayor Quimby and Mayor McCheese, Rob Ford, joins the show today.
What about John Mayer?
No, Aaron, he's seventh.
Your body is a wonderland.
Please stop. And now some football.
The Leaside Lancers taking on the Central Tech Blues with Toronto Mayor Rob Ford in attendance, most likely arranging his dominoes order. Blues without star running back Jamal Borland in this one, but in the first quarter, it's the Blues making do with their backup tailback as Samuel Francis takes the handoff to the left for the first down. Leaside linebacker Sean Ryan was shaken up on the play, and he would not return to the game. The Blues are continuing with the ground and pound in this one as Francis takes a pitch to the left. He beats the containment, and who needs Jamal Borland as Francis sprints down near the goal line before getting pushed out of bounds. Down near pay dirt now, and Central Tech bringing in the bruiser. It's Nicole Jackson, and he punches it in to give the Blues an early 6-0 advantage. Leaside quarterback Dan Giacomello with a completion coming up right here, but they were few and far between on this day, as Central Tech just had a stifling defense throughout. A former player and coach, did Mayor Ford have any advice for the struggling offenses?
I'm a high school football coach, and I understand they both have very good football teams. Stick to your game plan. That's the advice I give you. Don't start changing things. You're practicing, all week. Stick with it. Just because it doesn't work in the first or second quarter, stick with your game plan, and it will come around in the third or fourth quarter.
Late in the fourth quarter now, and stagnant offense and dominant defense continues to be a theme as Giacomello flees the pocket but is swarmed by the Blues for another sack. Next play, and Giacomello continues to struggle, throwing yet another incompletion. He finishes the day with less than 100 yards passing. Final play of the day, Giacomello going deep in hopes of a miracle, but there's no Doug Flutie here. A beautiful tackle ends it as Central Tech celebrates its first undefeated season since 2003 as they added a late touchdown to take it 12-0. Tech takes on Lawrence Park in the final round of the playoffs this week. And here's Central Tech's defensive coordinator, Jeff Hunter.
Well, the defense was playing pretty good in the first half, and we held them through it. And basically, in the second half, we just really needed the offense to get off, support us, get a couple points on the board so that we could just, basically do what we do.
Northern visiting East York, where the Goliaths have failed to make the playoffs for the first time since football was reintroduced to the East York community. Off we go. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the Red Knights dressed like superheroes? No cape for Carlos Rogers, but he can still fly. The running back picks up a quick 30 yards, and the Knights are in the red zone. East York is without the kryptonite to stop Rogers at the goal line. He breaks the plane, and the defense gives up the touchdown. Knights are on the board. They've got an early 8-0 lead, and the East York faithful, well, they don't like it at all. Second half now, and the Goliaths need to get something going and fast, but the Knights D gives them the Hulk smash. No yards for you. The Goliaths would follow that up with a brilliant pass to the Knights. To the Knights? That's right, and now it's really clobbering time. Northern has great field position once again, and that's all Rogers would need to score another touchdown. His second of the day. Cue the celebration, and maybe this is the Hulk smash. Up, and away, 15-0 Knights. With Northern back at the goal line minutes later, it's your friendly neighborhood running back, barely breaking the plane once again for his third score of the game. Holy blowout, Batman. This one's all but done. All we have left to do is, well, I don't know what these guys are doing. 29-6 is the final. East York's season comes to a disappointing end, but their coach remains upbeat in spite of the defeat.
I'd have to say The biggest thing for me, the proudest that I am, is this group here in comparison to number ones over the last years. Is we came out with 21 players, and those 21 players played both ways, played a whole lot of time. There's 5 of them that never came off the field. They played it all the way from start to finish. And I can't be any prouder than the character that they showed today.
It's been a blast covering Tier 1 high school football this year, but things are coming to a close. With an in-depth look at this year's playoffs, we hand off to CSTV's resident football expert, Giannis David Bunkus.
Thanks, Josh. Well, the Toronto Tier 1 regular season has come to an end. It's time for an exciting time, the postseason. With Northern's win over East York, they handed a rebuilding program a humiliating winless season while locking up the second seed for themselves. On the flip side, congrats to Central Tech for their dominance over the Southwest Division, posting an unblemished record despite a couple of key injuries. Expect them to make a lengthy playoff run, and well, let's take a look at those matchups. First up, Central Tech versus Lawrence Park. And folks, this one should be a laugher. Quite frankly, Lawrence Park and their league worst offense made the playoffs based upon the ineptitude of their peers rather than their own ability. Even if CT star runner Jamal Borland misses this game, they should crush the lowly Panthers with ease. Now, Lawrence Park only mustered 6 points total against other playoff teams this year and were annihilated during their first matchup with Tech, 27 to a big squadouche. The Blues are the definition of a powerhouse, having led the division in points, and defensive coordinator Jeff Hunter has done a great job scheming 3 shutout wins. The Panthers have given me absolutely no reason to believe they will compete in this game. I'm calling another big CT victory by a score of 30-3. Now, on to the other and more intriguing matchup. It's between the Red Knights of Northern and the Leaside Lancers. And while the contest between these two clubs in September resulted in a 38-7 shellacking by Northern, there remains reason to believe in the Lancers. Leaside averaged a very minuscule 7.5 points against the rest of their games, and we just witnessed them hold the league's best offense to only 12 points. As good as their D has been, however, the Red Knights have been greater. Northern boasts the league's best defense with only 37 points against, and Leaside knows all too well about their ability to convert turnovers into points. I'm going against my producer Pete with this one, and well, sorry Chubba Vay, but I'm sorry to say the Red Knights are going all the way. Final score 18-10 Northern.
So tell me, JDB, what happens from there?
Well, Josh, both teams will advance to the Southwest Finals, and from there, well, we're going to the city championships. The city semis will start, and depending on who wins that game, we'll get the better seed. If Jamal Borland's healthy in this one, I see Tech having the ability to go all the way to the finals and finish off playing Don Bosco's Ironmen.
Thanks, Giannis. Tonight we have a story about a two-sport star who is giving back to the institution that has given her so much.
Ashley Docking was a star on the field and on the court. The Seneca College alumni came to embody what it was to be a female athlete, a legacy that blossomed from a tenuous start.
A lot of the girls had got recruited from high school, and I kind of walked on. I contacted the coach and was like, I want to play for your team, when's practice? I didn't really have much of a skill set, no fundamentals. It was more just speed and power were kind of my go-tos.
Came in as a raw recruit, just a tremendous athlete. Not the greatest basketball player, but had some obvious skills. But her aggression and her athleticism was very obvious. Bigger than her desire to win is her desire to not lose. So she worked her tail off. In the off season, she was the last girl out of the gym. She was the first girl in the gym.
It's just something that was ingrained in me when I was young. I guess just try your best, and if you do your best, you most likely will be successful.
Like, she held everybody together. She was the glue. If we had a problem, we'd go to her. She was the key to our teams.
In her 4 years at Seneca, Docking would accumulate provincial and national basketball medals to complement her numerous OCAA Athlete of the Year awards. All things considered, Docking's greatest honor would come during her final year of study, when Seneca College retired her number.
The whole retiring of her number, I think, speaks a lot in terms of what as an institution we think of her. And again, if she can set that standard that incoming athletes, incoming students can aim for, then I think that's what we all want and relish.
Graduation behind her, Docking was not quite ready to leave her teammates and coaches. She has decided to return to the institution that gave her so much, as an assistant coach.
She teaches us to be together and work harder as a team instead of individuals.
Our girls are improving and getting better because of her. She pushes them hard in practice. She's demanding. All the things that you want in a coach.
I think the most important thing is just to work as hard as you can. You can always tell when the effort level is there. Whether or not the skill is there isn't really that important, as long as they're not giving up on plays and they're always fighting till the very end.
The school and the team have given Ashley a lifetime of wonderful memories.
Once you kind of go here, you kind of become part of the family. I mean, once you're a part of it, you don't really want to leave.
Coming up, the football life, Chubba Bay.
Balmy Beach tries to continue their unblemished season.
Who exactly was Ted Reeve?
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Can't get enough sports? Why not make it a career? The sports journalism program at Centennial College gives you the foundation to work at a job you'll actually enjoy.
Join the list of graduates currently working for the CBC,
Rogers Sportsnet,
The Score,
ESPN,
The National Post, and many more.
Register today.
Balmy Beach first rugby team set to take on the Markham Irish in a rematch of the final game of the regular season. Beach just 2 wins away from a perfect campaign. Let's pick things up in the first half with winger Jesse Henkenhalf taking a pass, turns the Markham defense inside out and throws it down to put Beach up 5-0. But wait, Henkenhalf appears to lose control of the ball before he crosses the plane. Beach would miss the convert. After each team traded penalties, Markham cuts the lead to 8-6 with this kick, and that's how it would stand heading into the half. In the opening minutes, fullback Simon Rogers, looking to pad Beach's lead, takes a shot at goal, but it hits the upright and then the crossbar and stays out. Markham would capitalize later on with this try, and the Irish team is jacked up. They have their first lead of the game at 11-8, and the fans are loving it. Then, what appears to be an easy convert sails just wide, keeping Beach a penalty kick away from tying the game. Now with 5 minutes remaining, Beach looking for the equalizer, but Rogers hits the upright yet again. Beach just cannot buy a break and their perfect season in jeopardy. Wouldn't miss this chip shot, and the game would head to overtime. Single overtime solved nothing, so let's double it up. Rogers takes the ball, makes a nice move, and heads upfield, goes to the ground. After the ensuing ruck, Ryan McSween would get the ball. And Beach would take it 16-11.
My God, I saw Hayden, our captain, with the ball, and anytime I'm around him, I know I'm going to get a nice ball and some open space. So I made sure to be very close, and he got it to me on the sideline. And once I was running down, I could see the fans kind of inching closer to me, so I knew I had a good chance. And then, I don't know, I had to hurdle over 2 guys to throw it down with confidence, and yeah, sure enough, I scored.
It was a tight game all through the whole match. I thought we had superior possession, which is the important part of the game, but we just couldn't seem to convert. Our kicking was a little bit off, and we let them hang around. And give them credit; they're a pretty good team. They played very gritty rugby, and they weren't. I didn't think that creative with the ball, but when they didn't make a lot of mistakes.
Semi-finals in the McCormick Cup. You know, everyone plays their hardest, and there's a lot of talent in Ontario. So you knew the Irish were going to come out. They're a big nemesis of ours. Lucky to pull it out for the win, and we got one more next week.
It doesn't matter where you live in the East York community, chances are you have some knowledge of the Ted Reeve Hockey Arena. Let's go to CSTV reporter Josh Craig to find out who Ted Reeve really was.
Every community has its meeting places, spaces in which to congregate, share ideas, pastimes, and even sport. Common areas which bear witness to a neighborhood's personality, places often named for those who helped to shape that identity. Ted Reeve was the Toronto lacrosse player who would become a Canadian football icon and literary gem. His tenacity on the field would shape him, his wit with the written word would set him apart, and his humanity would define him. With 2 Grey Cup wins and a journalism career that spanned over 5 decades to his credit, the Moaner, as he was affectionately dubbed, would make his greatest contribution to the fabric of East York, and Toronto by extension, through his commitment to its citizenry and those in need of a helping hand. A shining example of his kind-heartedness lives on through Helen Littlejohn, the daughter of one of Reeves' many friends.
Well, he was best friends with my dad. They were really true buddies. My dad was a trainer for the football and the Grey Cup, and Ted was a player. So they became friends. They were in World War I together. And anyways, when my dad passed away, they took me in and I lived with them for a year, and they put me through my last year of high school. The Lord only knows what he did for other people.
The Reeve family had an open-door policy, calling the house on the corner of Glen Manor Drive and Pine Crescent in Toronto's tight-knit Beaches community home. There would always be people over, enjoying his legendary hospitality. Helen recounted for me many fond memories of the Moaner, including one she describes as her fondest.
One time he picked me up like a wet noodle and said, "I love you, kiddo, and stick with the guys that brung you." In other words, don't change and remember where you came from.
Words which Ted lived by.
He was just generous and a great guy. I can't say enough good about him.
Despite only one visible landmark of Reeves' memory in the area, his legend lives on in the minds of the many people whose life he impacted, and in the deep roots of the community.
Earlier in the show, we saw the Leaside Lancers fall to Central Tech, but Leaside defensive coordinator Chubba Vay has been around for the game long enough to know that the playoffs is where success is defined. We caught up with Chubba this week to learn more about how football has changed his life.
I started playing at Leaside High School. I played a whole host of positions, either that's good or bad, because maybe the coach thought I wasn't any good at any of those positions, so they kept on moving me around.
Everybody else in the end zone.
I went directly from playing one year to coaching the next year. And it was just one of those things that it was just the natural thing to do. Like, I want to stay in the game, be a part of the game.
It's a major concern for me. It's literally a major concern. Like, if I understand that we want to make the game as quick as possible, but I don't care if we're here for 10 hours playing the game, literally. Like, it's the game should be played as the game should be played.
As a leader, as a coach, I mean, I think probably the players can answer that better than I can, because I try to be the best that I possibly can be.
He's a player's coach. He's really easy to talk to. He's really understanding.
Chubba is freaking inspiration. Every week he comes out, he's always cracking jokes, makes us work. He's our conditioning coach. He works our butts off, but he makes it fun while he's doing it.
He's always out here. He's keeping the humor up with our team, and at the same time he's asking for discipline and fundamentals on our team. So he wants to win just as much as everyone else does.
Hey, it's a block in the back! That's a block in the back! You call us for it!
My philosophy, and I think a very good philosophy generally, is pay attention to the little things. The big things, they'll come to you, but it's the little things, like doing things right in stretch line and doing things right, you know, when it comes to running from one position to another.
Again, defensively, yeah. 0 points, you can't get any better than that, other than scoring points yourself, which should be the goal for the second half, is to score some points.
Just the little details are literally what separate champions from chumps.
Yes! Yes! Here we go! Offense! Offense!
It's made me very happy, I guess is the best way I can put it. I look forward to going to practice every single day, and you know, that's what it is. It's a happy moment. Because believe me, if I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't be there.
Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight. Make sure to tune into our final show next week.
For Aaron Karolnik and everyone here at CSTV, I'm Josh Lewinberg. Thanks for tuning in.